I am enough of an artist to draw freely upon my imagination. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. There are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. Everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Many times a day I realize how much my own life is built on the labors of my fellow men, and how earnestly I must exert myself in order to give in return as much as I have received. The ideals which have always shone before me and filled me with the joy of living are goodness, beauty, and truth. How strange is the lot of us mortals! Each of us is here for a brief sojourn, for what purpose he knows not, though he senses it. But without deeper reflection one knows from daily life that one exists for other people. The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all art and science. He to whom this emotion is a stranger, who can no longer pause to wonder and stand wrapped in awe, is as good as dead, his eyes are closed. Strange is our situation here upon earth. Each of us comes for a short visit, not knowing why, yet sometimes seeming to divine a purpose. From the standpoint of daily life, however, there is one thing we do know, that man is here for the sake of other men, above all for those upon whose smile and well-being our own happiness depends. And also for the countless unknown souls with whose fate we are connected by a bond of sympathy. Many times a day I realize how much my own outer and inner life is built upon the labors of my fellow men, both living and dead, and how earnestly I must exert myself in order to give in return as much as I have received. My peace of mind is often troubled by the depressing sense that I have borrowed too heavily from the work of other men. Life is like riding a bicycle. In order to keep your balance you must keep moving. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. The man who regards his own life and that of his fellow creatures as meaningless is not merely unfortunate, but almost disqualified for life. Everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. The woman who follows the crowd will usually go no further than the crowd. The woman who walks alone is likely to find herself in places no one has ever been before. To the master's honor all must turn, each in its track, without a sound, forever tracing Newton's ground. People love chopping wood. In this activity one immediately sees results. Gravitation is not responsible for people falling in love. How on earth are you ever going to explain in terms of chemistry and physics so important a biological phenomenon as first love? One strength of the communist system of the East is that it has some of the character of a religion and inspires the emotions of a religion. My religion consists of a humble admiration of the illimitable superior spirit who reveals himself in the slight details we are able to perceive with our frail and feeble mind. Occurrences in this domain are beyond the reach of exact prediction because of the variety of factors in operation, not because of any lack of order in nature. We still do not know 1,000th of 1% of what nature has revealed to us. Knowledge exists in two forms: lifeless, stored in books, and alive in the consciousness of men. The second form of existence is after all the essential one, the first indispensable, as it maybe occupies only an inferior position. People like you and I, though mortal of course like everyone else, do not grow old no matter how long we live. We never cease to stand like curious children before the great mystery into which we were born. Reading, after a certain age, diverts the mind too much from its creative pursuits. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. The most evident difference springs from the important part which is played in man by a relatively strong power of imagination and by the capacity to think, aided as it is by language and other symbolic devices. Where the world ceases to be the scene of our personal hopes and wishes, where we face it as free beings admiring, asking and observing, there we enter the realm of art and science. During the last century, and part of the one before, it was widely held that there was an unreconcilable conflict between knowledge and belief. Possessions, outward success, publicity, luxury, to me these have always been contemptible. I believe that a simple and unassuming manner of life is best for everyone, best both for the body and the mind. If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it yourself.